everybody. Registered Holistic Nutritionist here, Megan Esser with ITL Health. Today I'm going to answer the question, what is K2 good for and how can I get more of it? So vitamin K2 does a lot for us in the body, but it's very important both for our heart and our bones. So one of the things that it does for our body is that it helps get calcium into the bones and teeth, and it helps prevent that calcium from building up in the soft tissues. If we do have calcium buildup in the soft tissues, K2 also helps remove it out of the soft tissues. So why wouldn't we want calcium in our soft tissues? Well, first of all, we need it in our bones, but second of all, it can cause major problems. If it's in our arteries, it can cause atherosclerosis. If it's in our kidneys, it can cause kidney stones. If it's in our bones, it can cause bone spurs. Calcium deposits, not like a nice amount of calcium into our bones. So K2 is a very vital nutrient when it comes to bone health and when it comes to calcium distribution in the body, keeping those areas, especially the arteries, clear of calcium. Now, K2 is a very, very common deficiency in our diet. And this is because modern diets don't contain a lot of K2. K2 is produced by fermentation. So we don't naturally eat a lot of fermented foods in our diet. That was more common years ago when we needed to ferment food to preserve it. So foods like Gouda or Brie, naturally fermented cheeses, they really have good amounts of K2 in it. And goose liver, that's fatty goose liver, grass-fed cows, they also naturally have good amounts of K2 because of the fermentation that's going on in the animal system, especially when you consider the fact that we get a lot of butter and beef in our diet these days, but it's rare that we get it from a cow that was grass-fed its entire life. When a cow eats grass, it begins to ruminate in its stomach and it begins to ferment and it produces a lot of K2, which then is transferred to us when we eat the meat or the butter from this cow that has been pasture raised. Unfortunately, because we don't usually eat a lot of fermented foods, really high is natto, which is fermented soybeans, which is more common in Asia. A lot of North Americans don't prefer the taste. It's very acquired. So when we consider the fact that we don't eat a lot of fermented foods, we don't eat a lot of grass-fed dairy, it's very hard to get K2 into our diet. But it's also extremely important that we get this nutrient. Like I mentioned, primarily for bone health, to get calcium in, also to keep the arteries clear of calcium, arteries clear of calcium, and also K2 is a very important heart nutrient to keep our heart healthy. So really you want to supplement with vitamin K2, but you want a proper form. If vitamin K2 is mixed with things like calcium or magnesium, it will break down. And studies show that within 1 month, it won't make label claim, and within 1 year, it will be non-existent in that supplement. So that's a pretty staggering statistic, and if you're not getting the right form, then it's basically wasting your money to buy this supplement if it's going to be degraded. All of our products use double microencapsulated vitamin K2. And that ensures that that nutrient does not break down. And we do third-party lab testing, and our K2 always makes label at the end of testing. So we use a very high-quality form. We have a few supplements actually that have this awesome form of K2. We have our Prismag Plus capsules, which is pure magnesium bisglycinate, D3 and K2. We have our bone formula, which has a lot of goodies that help your bones. Also contains this K2, and we also have a vitamin D plus because K2 is essential for getting vitamin D into the right places. So I highly encourage you to not only focus on more grass-fed and fermented foods in your diet in order to get enough K2. If that's out of your budget or not quite the thing for you, get on a high-quality K2 supplement for you and your children, as K2 is extremely important for growth in children as well. Thank you so much for listening. If you're interested in trying any of our products, you can find them on the links below. You can order directly from us, or you can check your local health food store for these products. Thank you so much. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to write into us and we can answer them. And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks and have a great day.